wrist closer to the trunk of your body or your head or something for defense, I'll just give you an idea of how I would deal with it from there. So my hands are in close, right? Maybe he's even touching my wrists, right? Now, like I said, the weakness of the punch. So instead of dealing with his strengths, I want to deal with the weakness of the punch. So if he tries to do the hook, right? So I step out, right, from my chisao, I'm touching so I can recognize when he punches, right? I can respond immediately from the chisao, right? The busao, I put on the outside of my shoulder to keep his arm, to keep his shoulder open, right? He can't gain enough power while his shoulder's open. Shoulder closed, push, turn me around, pretty strong punch, right? But while his shoulder is open, right? He can't gather enough strength, and I'm holding him with 2 fingers, right? So, yeah, right. So while the shoulder's open, he can't gain enough momentum. So even if he's touching here and he comes over the top, right? Right, that was nice. Right, let's go. So I can deal with if I open him up. So, but in traditional Wing Chun, our bridge is a little bit longer. So it's a bit, he'll have to loosen up his hook to get to me because my bridge is a little longer. So from here, I can use the busao and attack closer to his wrist because my arms aren't as close. His hook doesn't, it could be tighter if my arms are closer, but his tight hook he can't use now because my bridge is so long, right? So I use it. Now, I use the busao. Some people, from a front stance, use a busao at shoulder's width. You can do that, but I would use it on the open side at shoulder's width, right? As opposed to against a blind side attack, because if he does a hook over the top, right? See, yeah, he's gonna hit me. if I just aim at shoulder's width or aim for his eyes or something like that. So when he does the punch, right? I do the busao on the outside of my shoulder's width. Okay? I attack with my wrist on the inside of his arm, on the yin side of his arm, closer to the wrist, and I try and do it while his shoulder is still open so that before it gains any power. So I think the best thing to think about is attack the weaknesses of the punch, right? Even in close when he's touching here. Come on top. I get on top, right? And I attack the weakness of the shoulder. Not directly punching the shoulder, but I'm saying that I want to prevent him from closing his shoulder to get more power. So I just keep it open with the busao. This is one of my favorite ways to kind of deal with that hook. But you have different ways. If you like, touch both ways. Hold on to both wrists, okay? And then do the hook on top, right? So maybe you like the tan sao. So right, the tan is fine. It's not just so much the structure you're using, but what are you using the structure for? So remember, the tan sao spread or disperses and the busao darts out. But in some versions of Wing Chun or some of the styles, you guys use it at shoulder's width. I'm saying that that's pretty dangerous for a hook unless you do it on the other side, on the open side. If you do it on the blind side, you might want to do the movement on the outside of your own shoulder because the purpose is to keep the opponent's shoulder open, right? So not just to kind of put your arm up there thinking that it's going to work. He's going to come around. What is your movement doing? So my movement is to keep the shoulder open and attack the limb while it's still open and while it's still weak before it gains